Welcome to JazzTime.com. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. We offer lowest prices anywhere online. If you want to know the price of the watch, simply click on the links in the description below. We greatly appreciate it if you buy a watch from JazzTime.com once in a while. Today we'll be reviewing the Rolex Datejust 36. This is the model number 126233. We'll be going over the dial, bezel, case, crown, bracelet, clasp, and we'll talk about the movement towards the end of the video. So jumping right into the dial here, we have the standard black dial for a Datejust watch. It's a nice completely matte black instead of having a sunbursting feature, and it's contrasted by the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Datejust text at the 12 o'clock position and a superlative chronometer officially certified at the 6 o'clock position, meaning that this watch is within Swiss specs of minus 2+2 seconds a day. On the very outer edge of the circumference, we have railroading tracks with the Swiss crown logo made at the 6 o'clock position at the very outer edge. And just in general, the railroading provides additional viewability for seeing individual minutes between these beautiful diamond hour markers. There are 10 diamonds in total, all in a setting of 18 karat yellow gold. As you can see, very beautiful dial. As typical with Datejust dials, we have the 3 o'clock position replaced, hour marker replaced by a date window. Of course, you can see the date as it says 15 there, and it's easy to read because of the Cyclops lens that protrudes from that sapphire crystal to provide magnification, easier viewing of that date. At the 12 o'clock position, we also have the typical Rolex crown logo as well in the 18 karat yellow gold. All right, moving on now. We have this beautiful 18 karat yellow gold fluted bezel. As you can see, as I sort of tilted in my light box around here, you can see that it captures light in a very unique way. You can see varying contrast of shadows versus highlights all along the bezel, and it actually looks a lot, even much better in the sunlight because it'll capture light very beautifully, almost kind of like a disco ball. And disco ball, if you were to have this on your wrist and you're driving around, the light will bounce off of this beautiful fluted bezel and make it very eye-catching to see. Moving on to the case now. The case size, as mentioned by the model name, the Rolex Datejust 36. This is a 36mm case size. Very beautiful high polish on the sides of the case. See, high polish, and on the side profile of the case, you can see not too high of a profile. Will fit in the little suit cuffs, dress cuffs very nicely with that nice high polish that matches with the patterning of the bracelet as well. High polish all throughout, and then the other side as well, high polish throughout again. We have the Rolex crown logo located at the 3 o'clock position with the crown logo on the crown itself, and 2 dot indices indicating that this watch is a twin lock double waterproofness system, which means that this watch has a water resistance of 100 meters or 330 feet when the crown is in its position as you see now, nice and tight in against the case. Unscrewing the crown counterclockwise, we'll go ahead and open up that crown. In its position, you can wind the watch about 15 to 20 clockwise turns is all you need to get the watch started once more. Pull the crown out to the next position. You can see the date window at 3 o'clock, and we'll be able to adjust the date however we like as well. And in the final position of the crown, we'll be able to adjust the hands bidirectionally as shown. You can see I can set the time however I like. I'm just going to go ahead and set it a little bit past the date window so it doesn't block here. And we're going to push that crown back in. The reasoning for pushing the crown back in besides screwing it is that once you see I pull the crown out to the final position, you can see that second hand stop. The hacking movement just completely stops, and it allows for precise time settings such as to an atomic clock online. You can get down to the exact seconds for your watch. Pressing the crown back in, we'll start that second hand or the hacking movement once more, and we're going to go ahead and screw that crown nice and tight in against the case because we want to keep our watch water resistant. Alright, moving on to the bracelet now. We have a beautiful oyster style bracelet. This is a two-tone, this is in the two-tone. If you didn't already notice from the 18 karat yellow gold bezel, we have 18 karat yellow gold high polish straight down the center of this 3-piece oyster link satin finish on the steel parts to add a nice contrast and bring more flair out of that yellow gold. As you can see, the pattern goes throughout, even onto the clasp as well. With the Rolex crown logo on the clasp, we have that high polished yellow gold as well with a satin finish, and onto the other side as well. One thing to note, very beautiful tapering from the first link back. As you can see from a frontal profile, it keeps the watch in proportion rather than having a way too skinny strap. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the clasp. We're gonna open it up here. It's just a simple folding oyster clasp, nothing too fancy here, but it does lock very tightly on very nicely on your wrist. This is the Rolex name embossed on there with a beautiful patterning with a Rolex crown on top of that. This is all in a high polish on the clasp blades as well. This watch specifically comes with what's called the easy extension link, located here right behind the clasp. Pulling at a 45-degree angle will allow you to add another 5mm extension for your wrist. Reasoning for that is, your wrist doesn't stay the same all throughout the day. Hotter days, your wrist might swell up just a little bit, and the watch might be just a little bit too tight. You can go ahead and pull that out to give yourself a little more breathing room, and vice versa on colder days as well. So nice little feature to have. But let's go ahead and talk about the movement now. Movement is housed in this oyster case backing, as you can see. Very beautiful high polish around the edge, brush finish in a unidirection that will sit on top of your wrist. And specifically for the movement, it does have an updated movement, because there was a predecessor for this watch, which was the 116233. Pretty similar overall, but I believe that they've actually toned down the lug, so it's a nice thinner case overall, so it doesn't sit too high on the wrist. But also the movement was updated, and the reason why that's important for a consumer like you is that a better updated movements are always great. While the previous movements were tried and tested over 30-40 plus years, they're fantastic movements. It's actually used to use the previous Submariner movements, the sports piece movements, which was the 31-35 movements, but now it's the 32-35, as Rolex is updating all of their newer style watches with the newer style movements, of course. So the 32-35, it's still a perpetual mechanical self-winding movement, has that precision of -2 + 2 seconds a day, as you saw with the 6 o'clock text. The functions of the movement, of course, are moving the center hour, minute, and second hand, being able to change the date instantaneous with the crown function, as I've shown you, and of course stopping of the hacking movement for precise time setting. The oscillator has been updated. It has a paramagnetic blue Perichrome hairspring, which was actually I think updated on the 31-35 towards the end of its lifetime. But the main thing is that it has a high performance Periflex shock absorbers, which Rolex claims to absorbs 50% more than that industry standard KIF shock absorbers. The power reserve is the main thing to keep and really think about, is that the power reserve is now 70 hours instead of the typical 48 hours, meaning that you can put this watch on a Friday evening, pick it up back on a Monday afternoon, and it will still be keeping time just fine. But of course, if you own a watch winder, then I guess that it really doesn't apply to you. If you don't know about automatic movements are powered by the inertia of your wrist. Just simply having this watch in your wrist, there's an oscillator that spins around the back of the movement that keeps this watch wound for you from your natural wrist movements or hand movements. But sometimes you don't want to wear a watch all the time, so you do want to put the watch. If you do put the watch down, that's what I mean by power reserve. You have that additional time that'll continue to, keep time before it eventually will stop. But if you have a watch winder, or if you wear the watch very often, that doesn't really apply to you too much. Anyways, moving on now, I want to go ahead and show you this watch on my wrist. So we're going to locate that folding oyster clasp, pop that open, slip it on the wrist. I have an average man size wrist of a 7-inch wrist, or really 7-inch, maybe 7 1/4, but you can see fits me perfectly. There's a tiny bit of wiggle room for me, which is fine, but you can see very beautiful watch. Specifically for the size, I think a 36 is perfect, at least for me anyways. You can see it doesn't look too large on my wrist, doesn't sit too high off the wrist as well, so will fit under the suit cuffs, chest cuffs. And maybe you might want to take a break from larger watches, because as Rolex has been moving towards more 41s and 43s and whatnot, maybe a 36 might be the watch for you. Keep it nice, low profile, and it feels great to wear. It doesn't feel too heavy on the wrist because it's just not, it's not a super complicated watch. But as you can see, the elegance of it is understated. It's a very beautiful watch in a two-tone. Once again, if you're interested in this watch for the best possible price, check out our website at jazztime.com. I'll have links in the description below for this specific watch. And if you like the videos, please like, comment, subscribe below. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys soon.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to Model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.